Boom, what's up you guys? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to another members exclusive video. In this one, we're going to be talking about Tesla and Palantir and pullback targets for these two stocks as we get ready to kick off 2025. I think this bubble may have finally popped, and I say bubble with heavy quotation marks around them, okay? Before we proceed here, I know many of you are aware of this, but I want to make it clear that I do believe in both Tesla and Palantir for the long term, and I do think that these both have very, very bright futures ahead of them, especially with the upcoming Trump presidency. Doge, Elon, PayPal Mafia, everything is looking good from a long-term perspective. That being said, corrections are a healthy part of every bull market cycle. Nothing goes up and to the right forever. Again, I've been playing these for close to a decade now. And by these, I mean hype cycles like we're seeing in Palantir and Tesla. Again, long-term, great companies, still good. A stock and the price action a stock sees and its technicals are not the same as a company, okay? When mania enters the picture, things can get irrational. PEs get way overblown like we're seeing in Tesla and Palantir right now. I mean, Tesla's trading at a $1.30 PE ratio, which is price to earnings ratio. A standard one for a good growth company is 25, 30 generous. So although Tesla and Palantir, again, very, very bright futures ahead of them, and you can't justify a significantly greater PE than historically average, these charts just look ridiculous. What we're seeing now in Tesla looks to me like a dead cat bounce, and I do think we see, as you can see in front of us and as this video implies, further downside. So, again, let's talk about those targets. Let's take a look at Palantir on the charts. As many of you know, if you are trading with me in the Waze portfolio, we have been loaded up with puts like these. So obviously those are performing well today. And thank God we did, because pretty much any call options in the entire market, except for Veritone, which we also have in the portfolio, are seeing blood. It is a bloody day across the markets, and I personally think it's going to get bloodier. So before we jump into Tesla and Palantir on the charts, I do just want to read over kind of just this trade analysis newsletter that I sent out this morning. Sums up some of my thoughts. Can't go any further than this below, because just out of respect for existing members. And I know most of you, if you are members of the YouTube channel, are members of the portfolio newsletter group. But if you aren't, it's the first link in the description. If you want these daily newsletters, want a full breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, call options, put options, when I'm going to sell these Palantir and Tesla put options and use those put profits to buy calls, which calls they are, you know all that if you join the team. So first link in the description, $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months, completely up to you. It's my complete portfolio, daily trade alerts, email newsletters. Welcome to the winning team. If you do, I smell a strong 2025 ahead of us. 2024 was an amazing year for us. And I feel fortunate to be able to have done this for so many years and to keep doing it because I love this stuff. So again, first link in the description if you want to join the portfolio newsletter group. As always, existing members, it means a lot if you drop a comment sharing your experience. And, if so, welcome to the winning team. If not, no worries. I hope you gained some value from this video. And let me know below what you think about everything. If you agree, if you disagree, and why. Okay. So Tesla, as of right now, before we proceed any further, it is important to keep in mind that even after the correction we've seen, which from the high at about 488 to where we are now, 12% correction, 15 down here, we are still up 70% from January 5th alone. Okay. From the time President Trump was elected, we are still up 70%. Okay. And we're up significantly more than that. If you just look back to, the lows back in October, from those lows at 210, we are up over 2x. Okay. So we are up over 100% since October alone. In the past few months, things have gotten crazy. Again, Trump presidency, Doge, Elon, PayPal Mafia, great news from a fundamental perspective. Does this chart reflect that? And does the price and forward PE ratio of Tesla reflect that? It seems pretty damn likely. Okay. So do I think Tesla rallies into, mid to late 2025? Absolutely. Does it rally in early 2025? Q1? It's very possible we see 500 plus in Q1. But do we see some short-term downside? I think it's much likelier than not. We saw this high. We were getting rejected here. This looks to me, once again, like a dead cat bounce. This is what pretty much every hype cycle bubble pop looks like here. And I do think that we see further lows here. So pretty conservative. I do think that Tesla in the week ahead, and I just said this in the last video covering the S&P and NASDAQ and Dixie, but when Santa rallies fail, when the markets see blood in the week of Christmas, which is exactly what we're seeing right now as we close out Christmas week, that typically historically results in a negative January for the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, and then NASDAQ 100, probably Dow too. But just keep in mind, you guys, market's super overextended overall, not just Tesla and Palantir, S&P 500, NASDAQ, Apple, just pretty much every company, every growth tech name out there has gotten extremely overextended, especially over the past few months, just like the whole year too. And a lot of individuals, a lot of investors, especially when we're talking about names that have just gone ballistic like Tesla and Palantir, are probably going to want to wait. I know, like I would, but I'm shorting them right now. I took a lot of profits from them before because I trade call options on these things. A lot of investors in these companies are going to wait till January 1st or, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever, early January to sell stock in these two, or any company for that matter that has gone crazy over the past year, to put off paying taxes on them or capital gains tax on them until 2026, okay? You lock in profits on January 1st, you don't got to pay them until April 2026. And that's for sure, at least in my opinion, almost inevitably going to create, a wave of selling for especially early investors, which probably if you're an early investor who has yet to take profits, you're going to have a lot of shares. Okay. So that can create a snowball effect, especially when everyone who bought up here, which is a lot of people, and this is the same goes for Palantir, just, playing the game theory of it and the hype cycle, just the classic hype cycle mentality that happens here. That creates a negative snowball effect or a double whammy for an even greater correction. Okay. So when it comes to price targets for Tesla, simple here. I do think we test this line of broken supports that has yet to come back into play as new resistance. This is what I would say is like where I will definitely sell all of my Tesla shares, or I'm sorry, my Tesla put options. If we do retest this line of broken support as broken resistance, as new support, this cyan or blue line right here, that would result in like a 14 to 15% correction down to like 370, I'd say. So 370 is going to be my personal profit target. I do think we do see some support here down like 13%, around 375, 376 from where we're currently sitting at 432. Everything I said before, just put a 4 on it. So that's Tesla. All right. Where do we go from there? I don't know. Is it possible we fall further? Absolutely. But, I'm just playing this one day by day. So again, if you want daily charts, if you want daily updates on these, that's also, I write those newsletters every day too. Okay. So Palantir is looking a little more promising. Palantir, you can tell the dip buyers are a lot more present here than in Tesla. But right here, even if we're looking short term, you can see this is looking a lot like a little bear flag to me, which is a large move down followed by an ascending triangle pattern. I would definitely guess, I'm not going to watch this right now, not to waste your guys' time, but I would guess we definitely break down within the next probably 10 to 15 minutes here, definitely before the close. And I do think Palantir has further to fall. I think Palantir at the very, very least falls to retest this line of broken, pretty short-term resistance. This was a symmetrical triangle pattern that was in place since early December. So for the past few weeks, this has been in play, and it has yet to be retested into resistance. I actually might purchase more puts on this little bounce we're seeing, this little intraday bounce we're seeing after I stop recording this. But you can see here, very, very clear line of resistance has yet to be retested as new support. This is one of my favorites. Just if there's a evident line of resistance or support, it's very, very rare that it doesn't get retested as the opposition. Okay, so broken resistance will become new support. I think that Palantir in Monday, Tuesday of next week leading into the new year falls at least to test this. So like, 5-6% down to 74, 75 bucks. I do think it's possible we fall to retest this conservative line of that was the conservative line of resistance, just using a bunch of touch points here on that same symmetrical triangle pattern, which would lead us down to 72, 73. And worst case scenario, which I think is probably coming in the month of January, if this really is the correction I think it is. So let's just zoom out here. You can see here again, Palantir still up still up pretty much 2x, 100% from where we were on the day of President Trump's election. That's, I've said this for a long time, for probably the past couple of at least the past month of covering Palantir. I think that it's extremely, extremely likely that this line of previous resistance on this long-term ascending channel here that has been broken and has yet to be retested as new support. Again, as I just said, this is like my favorite setup when it comes to technical trading. I think that this will be retested. Again, if this is the pop, I think it is. Regardless of Palantir's overall interest, hedge fund interest, you can again, the dip buys are being eaten up. Bullish stuff, believe in Palantir for the long term. This is just how these things go. There's a lot of, just especially reading some of my comments, there's a lot of passionate individuals who are invested in Palantir right now that typically leads to massive sell-offs when those passionate individuals hit those, just the points of despair and depression. That is really when the cascade effect starts. So I do think that this line will be retested. This prior line of resistance will be tested as a new support. That would result in about a 22% correction from where we're at, just above $79. And, if so, then I'm going to make a lot of money because I do have quite a few put options on Palantir right now. So let me know what you think here. Again, if you think I'm a lunatic, let me know why. If you agree, please let me know why and just add anything you think I may have missed here. And just stay safe out there. It's always fun to be bullish, but, sometimes the bears are the ones who make the money. And in this case, although I have a whole lot of exposure to other names in the market right now in call options, my call options still outweigh my put options. But, right now I do think that there's a lot of money to be made in puts as we kick off 2025. And I'm excited to see what happens here. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll talk to you in the comments downstairs. Again, if you want to join Waves Capital, if you want a full breakdown of my newsletter and portfolio, if you want my daily newsletters as well, it's the first link in the description of this video. I appreciate you watching. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.